so nice to have a baby in the sanctuary. There we go. Hi, guys. How are you? Good. All right. Our affirmation today is, I am full of an attitude of gratitude. I am full of an attitude of gratitude. Can all of you say that with me together? I am full of an attitude of gratitude. And let's take that into prayer. We take our gratitude into that space within our heart. We open our hearts up. And we are full of an attitude of gratitude for this community. It is within the community that we express our gratitude, that we become aware of the blessings in our life, and where we walk our journeys together as we seek and explore and expand and unfold. We are so grateful to have a place, to have a group, and to have some guidance as we journey into new destinations, new awarenesses, new perspectives. And we hold those in our community who are experiencing challenges right now. We hold them in the highest and the brightest, seeing love and light, filling their awareness, and divine guidance, leading them through their journey. And we are grateful for the givers and the gifts in this community that allow us to sustain. And we are grateful for those in the community who come forward to move us out into the greater community through service and allowing their ideas to come into manifestation. And for all of this, we say thank you, and so it is. Amen. So I am welcoming you to Unity of Mesa, where we enlighten, empower, and energize one another to uplift our world through a greater expression of God. I'm Reverend Judy Hildebrand, and joining me today are our children for a few minutes before they go next door for Sunday school. And yes, drum roll definitely for the children. And Tamara will be our platform person, and Louise Zeman is our board member of the day, and our music team is Celia Farran. Did I say that last part right? No. I'm sorry. Farran. All right. And I think I get to do the mini lesson now. So we're talking today, kids, about attitude of gratitude. Have you guys ever had an attitude about anything? So, what's your attitude usually? What do you get an attitude about the most? I would get the attitude the most about having to eat eggs that I let get cold because I didn't like them and I didn't want to eat them, and then they got cold and then they got worse. And I would get the most awful attitude when I was your age. And I would just sit there at the table and go, no. And my mother would get an attitude then. Do your parents get an attitude when you get an attitude? Yes. So, Paul, what's your favorite attitude to have? Do you have one? When you're going to, you do capoeira, right? Capoeira? Capoeira. Say it again. Come here. You're going to have to come say it. Come say it for me.
Capoeira.
Yes. So when you do that, and so it's an amazing, comes out of jiu-jitsu a little bit. See here a minute. So when you're in there and you're having to do some of that, do you ever have an attitude of, I'm powerful and I can do this? What do you feel like when you get that attitude?
and strong.
Nice and strong. And that's a good attitude, isn't it? Yeah, so when you're at home and your mother asks you to do something you don't want to do you ever get an attitude? What does that attitude feel like?
Mad.
Mad. Does anyone out here ever get a mad attitude? Look at them, look at them. They've all had mad attitudes. Good for you. Congratulations. High five. Yes. Same attitudes. So my dear one, you're getting to that age where we go, she's a tweenager, right? Yeah? And how many of you have had tweenagers in your house? My mother used to say, for years, my mother has said, she was a delightful daughter, except for during those tween years. And then she had an attitude for 5 years. So, what's your attitude that you cop? You know? What's your favorite one to cop, or the one you go to the most? You don't know. What's the nicest attitude that you have? Because you've always got a nice attitude here. Can I tell you what your attitude is here? The attitude we see is someone who's always pleasant and always willing to help. And I know you guys know the kids did a food drive. And this young lady, it was her idea. She did all of the legwork. I gave her some connections, and I asked her some questions like, well, if you put this poster up, no one knows where that is, right? So, and she'd go back and fix it, because it's that help with the pre-planning and that. But I want you to see this truck that came to pick up their food, and they took more than one of those big boxes, right? How many? They took 3 of those big cardboard boxes, plus used up all the other boxes we had over there to fill up to put into the truck additionally. So that's how much these kids did. So as a community, we are very grateful. And she joined forces with the youth at the Mormon church around the corner. And you guys went to the subdivision right behind us, right? They went with wagons and flyers, and they went door to door and collected food, plus what you guys brought in and what their church brought in. And she created a slide for the Just Serve website, which if you're ever looking for something easy to do as a volunteer project, or you just feel like I want to be generous and give, you can go to justserve.org, and it's offered through the Mormon community, but it's for everyone, and it's needs in the community. And so we just put on there, she just put on there that the children are doing a food drive, the youth are doing a food drive, and we would like you to contribute food to it. And so it opened it up to the greater metropolitan area. So amazing, amazing work. So we thank you, and I want everyone to see, because I know you're only here sometimes every other week. So we are grateful as a church for everything that you have done. And do you know what? This is our first Sunday, so you know what? We're also grateful for people who were born in November. So if you have a November birthday, if you'd stand up so we can sing happy birthday to you. And being inclusive, we're going to sing the first verse is the verse that the kids know, so they can all join in, and then we'll sing our 2 verses that we usually do.
All right. I only need the microphone for the recording, you understand. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear everyone. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. There's no one like you, uniquely created. I love knowing you. I bless you. God's galore. God bless you, my loved ones, and have many more.
And now we are going to be blessed by the song So Grateful for You by Celia. And then the kids are going to join Shannon in the back of the room to go to Sunday school.
I'm going to plug this in. Okay. Hi. It's my smallest audience. The shortest and the smallest. Awesome. It's so good to be back here. How are you all doing? It's beautiful. I've mostly been playing to screens, so it's just so wonderful to see. I know you're smiling under those masks. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for you. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for. I am so grateful for you. Thank you for your beautiful heart. Thank you for believing in me. I offer you my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you. I am so grateful for your beautiful smile. I am so grateful for all that you do. I am so grateful sharing your time. I am so grateful for you. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for you. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for. I am so grateful for you. Thank you for your beautiful heart. Thank you for believing in me. I offer you my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you. I am so grateful for you are truly a treasure. I'm so grateful for how your light shines. I am so grateful for all of life's pleasures and that you are a friend of mine. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for you. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for. I am so grateful for. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for you. Ooh la 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 la. Ooh la 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 la. I am so grateful for. I am so grateful for you. So grateful, so grateful. I am so grateful for you. Thank you.
Good morning. There I am. I have a few things I'd like to share with you this morning. First up, a new class with Dennis Hubert. Do you ever feel like something is missing? Join Dennis in the quest to discover your innate wholeness in this 5-week online class, Discovering Wholeness Within. This class, based on Robert Brummick's book, The Quest for Wholeness, allows you to discover your own innate wholeness and learn how to apply it to your life situations. Sorry. We have 3 upcoming workshops. First, for the men out there, if you're ready to awaken your impact, inspire change, and attract the relationships and abundance you want, then I invite you to join Reverend Judy for the Art of Masculine Presence training. We are excited to offer this first-time event to our Unity community in order to support our men as they explore at a deeper level their relationship, hidden shadows, fears, and dreams. This is a 3-day workshop for men ready to do their work. Full details are online, or pick up a flyer in the lobby on the slat wall. Think you can register in the bookstore? You can register in the bookstore, so you can see Michael for that after services. Gretchen Bickert is a sound and energy practitioner and hospice and grief supporter for many people as well as animals. You may know her as our Gong meditation leader. On December 2nd, she and Sunny O'Rourke are inviting you to join them for Let's Talk About Death, taking the end-of-life discussion out of the coffin and into conversation. The workshop will include guided meditation with sound, in-depth discussion about end-of-life planning, hands-on activities, and brief presentations. Then, on December 4th, Gretchen and Reverend Judy will host Healing Our Grief. This healing workshop is for anyone who has lost a dear one, including a longtime pet, and is still struggling with grief. You can find details, dates, times, registration, and more for all of these classes and workshops on our Things for You to Know page at unityofmesa.org. Registration for Sangha 2, the Art of Masculine Presence Retreat, Death and Grief Workshop, and New Year's Eve Drumming Circle are also available in the bookstore. Speaking of the bookstore, with November here, Christmas is just around the corner. The bookstore is already decorated with all of our Christmas items at 50% off. And after service on November 21st, Lori is looking for volunteers to join her in decorating the sanctuary. Email her at lori@unityofmesa.org or see Nancy after the service. And finally, our annual board meeting is again online this year. Register on our website for your Zoom link, and be sure to click the box if you are a member so you can receive your ballot for our Board of Trustee nominations. Our nominees are Jean Bettis, Erica Bowman, and Stephen Chavez. And the time of the meeting is 12:15 to 1:30. And thank you all for sharing your love and light with us this morning. Please know your soul is welcome here. And now let's share our guiding statement to remind us why we come together. Say with me, we are here to experience more of the fullness of who we truly are in order to transform the world. All are welcome here. And now let's prepare ourselves for meditation.
Trying to figure out a way to do all this and have the kids be up here and not feel like they're being stared at. So we have them looking at me a little bit so they feel more at ease, more welcome, and that they will start to engage a little bit more. And then how to do that without all this stuff in front of them so that you can't see them at the same time. So just as we play with it, just join in with the play. And wanted to add on a few things. So the piece on death that they are doing on Thursday afternoon is the things that you should do and talk about before you die. What are the contracts that should be signed? What are the discussions you should have? And it's opening up that to do. They did it at Mesa Arts Center, and they were filled within the first half hour of the registration there. and they offered to do it here where we had availability to host. And I think there's a limit to about 20 in the class because it is interactive and has time for discussion in there. So I would invite you to do that. If you've not done all of those prep things and you're thinking about it, or you have parents you're supporting through that process, oh my gosh, what a process that was. This would be a wonderful place to get some really solid guidelines with women who are amazing and have training as death doulas, which are like a birth doula helps to bring into this life. A death doula is the person who helps prepare us to exit this life. And so I didn't know there was such a thing until Gretchen and I started talking about 2 years ago about it. So it's an amazing thing. And then that Saturday morning workshop is for those who have lost someone. And, you know, that grief stays in us until we find a way to release it. So would love to have you join us. And the meeting is not the board meeting, it's the annual community meeting. So it is for everyone, the community members and non-members both. Members will be the ones who get to vote. You have to register, please. I was told to make sure you all knew that. You have to register to get the link, or otherwise we can't send that to you. And Lori can't send out 50 of them 2 minutes before the meeting starts. So we would love to have all of you join because this is a big year. And the board you elect will be the ones that will be making the decision on who they hire next as the minister. So you want to have some participation in that, I would hope. And meditation time. Dennis, yes? We have 2 positions. We have 2 positions every year unless someone moves or steps down for some unusual reason. And we have 3 people running, so it is an election. Definitely, it's not just, it's 2 people and there's 2 spots. We have 3 spots. We have 3 people and 2 spots. So, yes, all right. Meditation. And am I getting picked up enough? Okay. I'm going to do a guided meditation today. And I'm going to ask you to think about different things about gratitude. And this comes from Sig Paulson. So expressing gratitude through praise and thanksgiving can start in any area of our lives and bring immediate results. And according to the Bible, all of us are made in the image of God. And so I invite us as we settle in and we breathe into this space, I invite us to start with these words as our mantras. I praise and give thanks for God's image in me. I praise and give thanks for God's image in me. By repeating these words sincerely, we may feel a flow of energy that lifts our whole being. And you may begin to appreciate who and what you are, even though you may have buried your real self, your identity, in all of the condemnation and ingratitude. Your true self will soon respond to your words. I praise and give thanks for God's image in me. I praise and give thanks for God's image in me. And now take a deep breath, and let's change the mantra to I praise and give thanks for God's image in you. The finest help we can give another human being is to recognize gratefully his or her true identity. I praise and give thanks for God's image in you. I praise and give thanks for God's image in you. Allow the vision of others to come through your mind as you praise and give thanks for God's image in them. And take another breath. Jesus said that we are the light of the world. I praise and give thanks for the light of the world that I am, and for my expanding ability to let this light shine. I praise and give thanks for the light of the world that I am, and for my expanding ability to let this light shine. I praise and give thanks for the light of the world that I am, and for my expanding ability to let this light shine. And once again, we go back to, I praise and give thanks for God's image in me. We take a deep breath with that. I praise and give thanks for God's image in me. And know that it is so. And we allow our awareness to come back to the room and to come back into your body completely if you are not there.
Forgiveness is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Forgiveness is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Serenity's my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Serenity's my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Away I go to be among the trees. Away I go, under the earth I go to follow the roots to more peace. Blissful is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Blissful is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Loving is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Loving is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Tranquility is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Kindness is my way of being. I am at peace, I am at peace. Away I go to be among the trees. Away I go, under the earth I go to follow the roots to more peace. More peace, 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 more peace. La da 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 da, la da da da, la da da da, la da 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 da, la da da da, la da da da, la da
So I think I'm changing my talk. Yeah, I'm at peace. So many of you know that Kathy has retired officially. And as I've stepped in and picking up a lot of her pieces and that, one of my agreements with your board was to have 4 days a month where I left and I had no cell service or whatever, and just what would happen, you guys would all take care of it. And so 2 weeks ago, I was at Rocky Point on a yoga retreat and had a delightful time, but on the way down and on the way back up, because I'd never been there, we drove through Organ Pipe National Monument. And it called to me. So I'm picking my 4 days based on when it's easiest to get away from here. So last week was the easiest time to get away in November. And so I went again, and, I started, let me look at Santa Barbara, let me look at here, I went all the way down the coast, and then I went all the way through northern Arizona, and finally it was, no, you're going back down to the border. So I threw my camping gear in and headed off to Organ Pipe National Monument. And there are two campgrounds. One's a big old campground by the visitor center. This other one is 10 miles from there, 3 miles down a dirt road. At the end of that road is 4 picnic tables, 1 very fancy porta potty, and 4 tent sites. That's it. And it is 13 miles from anything of civilization. And I threw my tent down there, and I know now that I was called to do some sacred work down there. I was called to hold space for those who are traveling through the desert. And many of you know that as a community, we raised some money when Border Patrol was dropping off busloads of immigrants to be sent out and shipped out. A church not too far from here was a landing spot for those busloads of immigrants, and they were having to feed them, get clean clothes and clean backpacks for them, and let them clean up before they sent them on the buses or the planes or wherever to get to wherever they were going to a sponsor who had agreed to sponsor them. And while I was there, they were calling, saying, I need someone to drive somebody to the airport. And I looked at her and said, I can drive to the airport. And so she sent me with a young man and his 10-year-old son. He was really small, but 10-year-old son, who had walked all the way up here from Guatemala and spoke no English. They spoke a dialect of Spanish, and they were not able to read. Because when we tried using Google Translate, they didn't understand the Spanish. It was different, and they couldn't read it either. So I walked them all the way through to get their ticket, to get through security, and security was really nasty to them, and to the gate, and told them, 8. When you hear 8, you go get on the plane. At 4, the gate agent said, and everyone else, come on, let's get on the plane. And so they're sitting there and going, and sent them their way, and was so grateful for that opportunity and to touch heart to heart with somebody. And also knowing at the same time our courts were prosecuting someone who had left water in the desert and food at that time. That's when that all was happening at the same time. So I'm sharing with you that it's a different attitude down there right now. Not about a mile from my campsite was this great big tall pole with a solar wind piece on it, lighting a light up, a blue light that flashed. And at the bottom of the pole was a red button, and it said, if you are in need of help, press the button, stay here, and we will come and help you. And you could see through the desert these lights like spread out maybe every 2 or 3 miles. There were also these great big tall flags like you put in the back of a bicycle so that people can see you. Instead of being orange, they were blue, and they're great big water cisterns that are in the desert. So if they get to that point and they are out of water, they can get something to drink. So it was, for me, feeling like we brought some humanity back. And it doesn't matter politically which group you're for or anything. I believe in humanity. And so it felt much different. But I find myself, there were big signs saying, you may run across illegal immigration, and you may run across trafficking, and if you run across anyone wearing black with black water bottles, please try and get as far away from them as you can. So there are 3 different groups crossing at the border down there. And I found myself just hiking and then holding space. Holding space for people who, 50 years from now, our grandchildren could be in that situation if the drought continues here. They could all be migrating out of Arizona. We could be migrating down south. Anyway, it was just this beautiful experience. And besides that, there were no lights down there, and the night stars were amazing. So, and you go to bed at 7 o'clock because there's nothing else to do, and it's pitch dark. And you stay in bed till 7 o'clock, and I got lots of sleep and caught up on all the sleep I'd been missing for the last week. So anyway, that was my experience. I just wanted to share that with you because you guys were so generous in supporting the first wave of immigrants who had come through. Just wanted you to know that there's a difference down at the border right now, and it felt better. I'm proud to be an American down there right now. Anyway, so as I prepared this lesson, the talk that I was going to do, I'm going to do now, I found a letter. And it's a letter from God, and it was in a file from 2009. And it says, "To you, your mind is like a seesaw. As you add thoughts, it tips to one side or the other. The more thoughts you add, the farther it goes in that direction. Pile on fears and worries, and the mind dips into unhappiness and discord. Pile on gratitude and faith, and the mind tips toward happiness and peace. At any given moment, you are adding weight to one side or the other. Remember the seesaw. Begin now to practice the habit of seeking out that which is good in your life, and your mind will follow. As your mind goes, so goes your life. Love, God." No idea who wrote it, no idea where it came from, but it was just sitting in my files. So as we look at gratitude and our attitude of gratitude, we acknowledge that we are grateful, that what we are grateful for can bring out the good in other situations and bring forth what we desire. Because as we focus on something, right, where our energy goes, we get more of, right? So if my energy is going on, oh, that's so awful, that's so bad, da 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 da, what am I going to get more of? That's so awful, that's so bad. If I'm going, wow, this seems a little bit tough, but I know that there's light, and I know that there is growth, I know there is an experience that will help you make it through another thing. What am I going to get more of? Light, growth, helpful experiences. Because where our energy goes, where our intention goes, our energy always follows. And so when we send out gratitude, our energy goes into things that we might be grateful for. A French proverb says that gratitude is the memory of the heart. Gratitude is firstly acknowledging the goodness in your life and then recognizing the source of the goodness. Gratefulness utilizes the heart and the head. It's a free gift. In essence, it's getting what we don't deserve. It is spontaneously bestowed on us due to overwhelming compassion, generosity, or love. 75% of longevity in life is related to psychological and behavioral factors. Negative emotions can result in shorter lifespans, whereas optimism and appreciation can result in longer, happier lives. And gratitude is a spiritual practice. The fourth unity principle states, through prayer and meditation, we connect with God and bring out the good in our lives. Denials and affirmations are tools we use. So I want you to think about this a minute. So if I'm out in the ocean and I have a small surfboard and the waves are coming in, or I have a huge yacht, if I've got a surfboard, all I'm doing is constantly being on the alert, right? I'm having to focus, I'm having to use all my muscles, my whole body, everything is put into just trying to stay upright and afloat. If I'm on a yacht, I'm sliding along on the water. Maybe I'm having to steer a little bit, but I just slide along and it's a beautiful ride. Gratitude shifts me, is the tool that shifts me from being on the surfboard to being on the yacht. I'm still going to have life, but the way I can move through it will be so different. If I am always grateful, and if I can live, this is the piece, if I can live from that gratefulness. If I can live from an attitude of gratitude as opposed to, oh, I'm grateful that I saw you today. Oh, I'm grateful somebody brought me food for lunch today. Oh, I'm grateful for this. Instead of, I am so grateful for everything in my life. And thank you for doing this, or thank you for doing that. But I am just grateful. I'm grateful for yesterday sitting in traffic for an hour with the mess with the 202 being closed. Because I had time to think. Because as soon as I got home, I was rush. I am grateful for the opportunity to serve in this church and take on all the roles that Kathy had for a while, to see everything she did and appreciate her so much more. And to appreciate this board and how amazing they have been. I'm grateful for each and every opportunity that comes into my life. And I know they're all there for growth. They're all there for expansion. They're all there as part of my journey in this body and this go-around. So by taking time to reflect on our lives, we take pleasure in loving the everyday joys that make our lives worthwhile. And remember, we have to feel the gratitude. And feeling has more to do with creating experiences than thoughts. And so it's not the thoughts that make me grateful. It's the feeling in my heart that brings that attitude of gratitude to the surface for me. Gratitude is when memory is stored in the heart and not in the mind, according to Lionel Hampton. And when we shift our gratitude and allow it to rest in our heart instead of being created in our brain and calling upon it only for special occasions, we may find ourselves living from that yacht instead of from that surfboard. Surfboard may be more exciting, but after a while it would be pretty exhausting, wouldn't it? So I invite you to consider all the moments and experiences where the presence of God has been felt by you. The times when grace has maybe hovered like a bank of coastal fog. Those memories are now stored in your heart and etched in your soul. Gratitude is a way to access them again. And so you get to re-experience that. Gratitude practice invites us into the past, where those moments of grace are experienced anew. Gratitude practice invites us into the present, where grace peeks out like a wildflower in winter, or the smiles and the gurgles of this little baby up here. Gratitude practice invites us into the future, where we are expectant in the promise of grace yet to be revealed. And gratitude builds on itself. And in this we find that even when we thought something had no redeeming value, grace can still peer out like a shy child, waiting to be coaxed out from hiding. And you know, sometimes it's difficult to find that little child who's hiding in the darkness, isn't it? But it's worth the effort. And we console ourselves with the belief sometimes that God is with us, but finding the good and the grace filled in the middle can feel impossible. Gratitude practice helps us go back and look more deeply for the grace that seems so distant. And it also helps us develop our skill for spotting grace even in the direst of circumstances. So those who are grateful bring grace into the lives of others. As stated before, gratitude builds on itself, and when we grow in gratitude, others grow in theirs. And one moment of gratitude leads to another, and in this end, we have a heart filled with joy. N.J. Ryan says, gratitude connects us to others, and feeling gratitude allows us to be our best selves. When we are truly grateful, we can count on living the life we want. And so like in our meditation, can you imagine yourself in the image and likeness of God? And can you praise and give thanks for God's image in you? Can you praise and give thanks for God's image in another, however they're showing up? As Jesus said, we are the light of the world. Can you praise and give thanks for the light of the world that you are and for the expanding ability to let this light shine? When we do this constant practice, it will erase darkness from minds, hearts, body, and affairs, and fill your whole being and world with light. It will be easy for you to rephrase this so that you can help in letting light into someone else's light, into someone else's life. The Apostle Paul told us that after we discover our real identity, we stop letting ourselves be pushed around by the world of appearances and become a life-giving spirit. And as a life-giving spirit, can you praise and give thanks for the power to stimulate all the life and health distributing centers in your body, your heart, and your mind? And that is the healing work that we were taught to do in Unity. As a life-giving spirit, to praise and give thanks for the power to stimulate all the life and health distributing centers of your mind, your heart, and your body. And as we can do that, we can heal so much more than what we heal right now. So I invite you into thinking about that one. And please don't stop with just yourself. As a life-giving spirit, you can send a current of energizing life into another's experience. How many of you here do that type of healing work? I know there's a whole bunch of you in here who do that, Reiki healers and all those other modalities, yes. And we can also do it just by being present with others, by sitting in our own light. I didn't have to do anything in the desert, but sit and be present, to be a beacon of light for someone who was crossing the desert that night or that day. And from attitudes of gratitude, they say gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. And so, are you willing to make sense of your past, to find peace today, and to create a vision for tomorrow? Gratitude is the way to do it. Have a grateful week, everyone.
Let's use what Judy just shared with us. So just play with me a little bit. So drop in and come up, think of something, someone that you're grateful for. It could be the sunrise this morning. It could be the breakfast you had. It could be the person sitting next to you. Just drop in. Find that. Got it? It's an energy. And with that, know God is the source of all our abundance. We are living in a universe that is unlimited. When we give thanks and are grateful for what we have and what we give, we open ourselves to abundance. And isn't that the way abundance works in an unlimited universe? It is here right now. All we have to do is open ourselves up, and walk into it. And with that, know, here at Unity of Mesa, your gifts of time, talent, and treasures continue to support the teachings of Christ, our higher consciousness, to reach all who are open to the truth through the work of this ministry. And there are many ways to financially support this spiritual community. Indirectly, through our Amazon affiliate website links just by adding Unity Church of the East Valley as your favorite charity, or rather on Smile, Amazon, and Fry's Rewards. So there's 2 places you can do that, and we love those checks when they come in monthly to us. Or directly by giving our Give Plus app or Banco app, they are the one and the same, or through credit, debit, or card payments, and those can be done in our bookstore. And obviously your checks are cash that you donate while you're here with the red buckets at all the exits. All the info on how to give and more can be found on our website, unityofmesa.org. So now, with that energy of gratitude you just tapped, please take your gifts in your hands, and holding our gifts in our hands, our hearts, and our minds, we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the greater expression of Spirit through the work of this ministry. Please say with me, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We are grateful for the gifts, but so much for the givers. Thank you, God.
Thank you. I don't know if that's in the same key, if I can figure that out. I live for creative community, smile for the dance of ecstasy, live on the nectar of love. Sweet love, I sing her with the breath of the goddess. Smile 'cause she's dancing inside us. Live on the nectar of love, sweet love, sweet love. I am so grateful for this moment, this beautiful, sweet, succulent now moment. And I am so grateful for this time, this magical, miraculous connection so divine. I live for creative community, smile for the dance of ecstasy, live on the nectar of love, sweet love. I sing her with the breath of the goddess, smile 'cause she's dancing inside us. Live on the nectar of love, sweet love, sweet love. I am so grateful for this feeling, this beautiful, sweet, wonderful now feeling. And I am so grateful for your smile, this joyous laughter, playfulness. Let's stay here for a while. I live for creative community, smile for the dance of ecstasy, live on the nectar of love, sweet love. I sing her with the breath of the goddess, smile 'cause she's dancing inside us. Live on the nectar of love, sweet love, sweet love. Gratitude's my attitude, my cup runneth over for my tribe. Gratitude's my attitude, so many reasons to shine. I live for creative community, smile for the dance sense of ecstasy. Live on the nectar of love, sweet love. I sing her with the breath of the goddess. Smile because she's dancing inside us. Live on the nectar of love, sweet love, sweet love. Love, sweet love, sweet love. Love, sweet love, sweet love.
Sweet. So, just a reminder, next weekend is annual meeting, and it's where we talk about the year-end finances. It's where we talk about all the things that have been accomplished, the vision for the future, and updates on where they are in the ministerial search. And I know that they are in the process of setting up some interviews. So they are moving right along in that. Today, after service, check out the bookstore. All of our Christmas items are 50% off. Feel free to enjoy the garden out the exit sign there. And chaplains are available for one-on-one prayer. And Audrey's back here, and John's up here. And maybe Ian's still here, or maybe he went over with the kids. So, you know, they're here to pray with you for times of challenge and times of joy. To share your joy doubles the share your challenge, cuts it in half for you, and just takes some of that pressure off. And so let's close in prayer, and we'll do prayer for protection. So together, let's stand up. Yeah. If that's available to you. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Have a grateful week, everyone.